The fastest way to lose a stranger's attention is to give them their whole soul before they've earned the right to hold it. And yet, some people do it instantly. One deep conversation, one kind smile, one little sign of safety, and suddenly their secrets are on the table. That is not random. That is psychology. Because oversharing is not always about being too open. Sometimes it is about being too tired to carry the loneliness alone. It happens when someone has spent so long feeling invisible that the smallest warmth feels like oxygen. So they talk, fast, too fast, not because they are careless, but because some part of them is desperate to be seen before the moment disappears. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Oversharing can be a nervous system response. When a person feels anxious, disconnected, or afraid of rejection, their mind starts searching for safety in the quickest place possible, another human being. The logic is primitive. If I tell you everything, maybe you won't leave. If I reveal the real me first, maybe you can't abandon me later. And that's where it gets dark. Because attention is powerful, the brain can get a dopamine hit from being heard, validated, and emotionally mirrored. For someone who feels starved for connection, that moment can feel addictive. They say something personal, the other person leans in, and suddenly the body learns, this is how I get closeness, this is how I get relief, this is how I stop feeling alone. But listen closely. Not every fast confession is honesty. It is emotional survival. Let that sink in. A lot of people who overshare are not trying to create intimacy. They are trying to prevent abandonment. They are trying to speed-run trust because silence feels unbearable. If they can make the relationship deep quickly, maybe they won't have to sit in the terrifying uncertainty of being judged, ignored, or forgotten. And for some people, trauma makes this even more intense. When pain has been normalized in the past, revealing personal details can become a twisted form of bonding. If I show you my wounds, maybe you'll stay. That's not just vulnerability, that's a hidden contract written by fear. Stop right there. This is the part nobody says out loud. Sometimes oversharing is not a sign of emotional maturity. It is a sign that someone does not know how to regulate their need for connection. They confuse intensity with intimacy. They confuse instant disclosure with trust. They confuse being understood with being exposed. And the wildest part, many of them do not even realize they are doing it. It feels natural, automatic, almost relieving. Because the moment the truth spills out, the body gets a temporary sense of release. The pressure drops, the loneliness softens, the mask comes off too fast, and they mistake that rush for closeness. But real intimacy does not arrive like a flood. It arrives like a slow fire. So the next time someone tells you their deepest pain too quickly, ask yourself what is really happening beneath the words. Is this confidence? Is this honesty? Or is this a person quietly begging the world not to leave them alone with their own thoughts? Because sometimes the most revealing thing about oversharing is not what's being said, it's what the person is trying to survive.